Reason number 5 why I play Paladins instead of Overwatch. I'm a healer main. Pretty to the point with this one. I like having more than 9 options to play support. And it's not just the amount of support characters that there are in Paladins, it's more of how the support class as a whole is handled. In Overwatch, a lot of the supports are very heal body, and by that I mean, like, if you are not constantly healing, you are failing to keep your team alive. And as fun as it is to heal people, there's also an idea that you kind of want to deal some damage here and there too. Oh my god, hi. This is me like 10 minutes after recording and I don't feel like turning off my lights again, but I do just want to say I am aware that there are different roles of healers in Overwatch. I know there are off supports and main supports, so not every hero in Overwatch is meant to really, do everything. And that enforces good teamwork and all, and that's fine and dandy. In Paladins, almost every support can kind of do both. Some definitely lean more towards main or off, but the majority of them can do both at the same time. Usually one support is enough to cover an entire team of 5, including the support. And a double support comp in Paladins is incredibly difficult to beat. Don't even get me started on triple support, that gets real fun. But yeah, just want to acknowledge that, champs and Paladins tend to be able to do both, while Overwatch champions only tend to do one or the other. I will say champions like Moira are very good in that respect, and Lucio, who has a passive heal, but there are also people like Mercy, where it's literally, if you're healing, you are doing nothing else but healing. You're not supporting your team in any other way but giving them health. And I mean, there are a couple of champions like that in Paladins, but because there are more supports that are all pretty darn diverse, you end up with a lot more variety in how you play the support. In Paladins, almost every support has some sort of method to stun enemy champions, and this allows you to help your team in a way that isn't just keeping them alive. There are also champions like Ray, who can boost ult charge, reload speed, and damage reduction on your allies, or Grok and Grover, who can increase the movement speed of their allies while also healing them at the same time. Point being, in Paladins, you really are not just a healer, you are a support. Whether you're giving supporting damage, stunning the enemy team, or giving your allies more buffs, you are helping in more ways than just keeping people alive. And because of that, support is a lot less boring in Paladins. It's also a lot more difficult. Don't get me wrong, every champion has a different difficulty, but there are some that you can really excel with. On top of that, and this was something I touched on in my last video, the talent and loadout system in Paladins makes it a lot more accessible for you to play a healer and a damage kind of role. Or some of them you can even play in a more tanky kind of role. One of the most versatile champions to be released recently is Lilith. Surprise, surprise, she's a support class hero. And her loadout and cards let you play her as a healer, a damage, a pocket healer, a bit of a flank. Pretty much you can do a whole lot with her, and she's just very interesting in that way. Like when people say I'm going battle Mercy, that means they're literally just switching to having a pistol. Whereas if you say you're going damage Saris, you're going to be having a crazy high amount of movement speed, stunning people all the time, and having an insane amount of health. In addition to just having more supports, Paladins does the role itself better by having more utility and versatility. If you want to play them as a heal bot, you can. If you'd like to give your teammates something besides health, you can. Or if you just want to blow up the other team so that they can't damage your teammates in the first place, you can do that too. Also, Furia is better than Mercy by